What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the BSBN Podcast, episode number 22. I'm your host, Patrick. We have on the top left, Vicky Boy, and on the top right, Dano. What's going on, boys? How you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Well, doing great, man. Doing great. We had an interesting weekend. We had the Olympic gold medal games for both the men and women's hockey, which they took both. We were wrong on our predictions. But I think now's a fair time to just start the USA chants because, holy crap, the fact that they won was insane. Vic, I know you were working. I think it was during the time for the game because they, went on at 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, which is fun. Oh, you were at church, right? It was Sunday, right. Yeah. So you were at church.
Yeah, it was a really early game, but
Yeah.
I think they said even on the Olympics that the closing ceremonies were right after the game.
Yep.
So it was the closing event basically of the whole Olympics. So
Yeah.
it makes sense why they had it early, but let's be real, we're Americans, so 8:10 compared to a 6-hour time difference in Italy is kind of...
Yeah, for them it's like 3 o'clock or whatever. It is. And I understand it. Trust me, I do. First off, nothing better than waking up to hockey, right? I'm okay with waking up to hockey and football. I know a lot of people complained it was 8 o'clock in the morning.
You complain about the 11 o'clock starts on...
I do.
On hockey
sometimes. I do. Sometimes,
so,
yeah, because
waking up in the morning?
No, well, for Olympic hockey, I ain't gonna complain because that was... I don't know what you think about it, but I think that was one of my favorite games of hockey that I've watched in so long. It was only a 2-1 score in OT. America did take home the gold. And, I know, Vic, I don't know if you got to see any of the highlights of this game. But Dan, what would you think about the game? Or Vic as well, if you have even just the smallest opinion about it, whatever. But what do you guys think about this game?
Okay, I've seen all over Twitter and everything that, yeah, okay, Canada completely dominated us.
Yep.
That's not even up for debate.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's debating that. Our star of the show was Connor Hellebuck in goal. Without him, that gold medal is not won from the USA.
Not at all. Because
if you look at the backups, Swayman is not making some of the saves that Hellebuck made.
No, not at all.
Especially that paddle save that basically
saves
the entire game.
Yeah.
And yeah, so don't get me wrong, I understand why Canada's saying, oh, the USA didn't deserve the medal, but at the same time, all these players know what they have to do to get it done. Canada missed their opportunities.
Several times.
Because they had plenty of opportunities. You had Nathan McKinnon with the empty net. I'm pretty sure Celebrini had an empty net chance where he whiffed, too. And yeah, so... when the opportunity rises for America to take the chances, they took them. Boldy, I don't know. To me, I can't get over that first goal that Boldy
so
had.
Sick.
How do you go through the top pair like that? You go through McCarr and
sick.
Donovan Taves just cakewalking, and then you have to get past Bigginton. And to be real, and that's the thing with Canada too. Canada has these all-star caliber skaters and defensemen. When it comes to goalies, their last good goalie was Brodeur. Who do they have now back there to help them?
Yeah, no, you ain't. Bennington isn't doing it for you. My takeaway on this game is I'm just gonna go into it real quick. I'm just gonna dive straight into it. USA sure did not win with grace. Don't get me wrong. There are definitely people that took it very far. But I'm going to just say straight up, Canadians were such sore losers over the game. Every excuse in the book that you could find, you threw out there. And just shame on you. Shame on you. Because you missed your opportunity. Celebrini had 2 open nets that he slap shotted to the back of the glass. McKinnon, another one, open net, pulled the Ryan Strome for the New York Rangers and shot it to the back of the glass. Could have had it, didn't. Got goalied, which is respectable. It's Hellebuck, the best, if not the best, goaltender in the league. Everyone knows that, which is great. But then also you had Connor McDavid, the best player in the world, the tournament MVP, who doesn't get the breakaway. He gets the breakaway and then does nothing with the D. vertical, no flash, nothing. He just went left, right, and then got stuck in the pads. And then same thing with Celebrini. He's a young kid, little experience, but he as well gets stuck on the deep, did nothing with it. Then you guys complained about 3v3. You guys just previously won a 3v3 to get here in OT. So you complained about the 3v3, but you got here in a gold medal game. Trust me, I'm not a big fan of the 3v3 game, but you can't use it as an excuse for why you lost, because you had the God Squad with McCarr, McDavid, and McKinnon out there, and you're going to complain about a 3v3 when the fourth liner, which is Jack Hughes, gets the goal on you. Like, come on, let's not even play that. That's Canada lost, and I hated seeing some of the things I saw from Canadian tweeters out there on X, because it was just baffling. Baffling. You could say you dominated. Absolutely. Did you look like the better team? Absolutely. Did you win? No, you didn't. You lost. Take it. You took the L. Just take it. Yeah, America's going to run their mouth. You guys run your mouth every time for nothing. Oh, yeah, hey, American team wins. Yo, but the Canadian players. Okay. America just can't have anything, right? So anytime we anything in the sport that counts as a win, it's, well, Canadian players. Well, we beat you with no Canadian players. We beat you with American players. Some of them played in Canada, but we beat you with American players for the first time in God knows how long. And now it's it's a trash win. It was a trash win. You guys did terrible. Doesn't count. 3v3. Did whatever. Like, come get out of here with that. It was a great game. I loved it, and I said GG to both because Canada played well. They played amazing. It was a great game by them. They just couldn't get past Hellebuck, and there were certain times where they could have, and they just didn't. You know, it is what it is. That's how the puck lies sometimes, and they didn't get it. Oh well, you know, and you know, to the Americans that are way too cocky, like, I get it. You won. You have bragging rights, but let's chill out. You know, as well. It's like, come on, let's not. You don't need to be. Show some sportsmanship on both ends. Like, both sides need to be a little bit.
Hockey.
Oh, they don't.
America doesn't own hockey.
They don't. Absolutely not. I'm an American saying that.
I will say this: Canada, time and time again, has produced the best talent coming into the NHL. So it's not even a question up for debate that Canada owns hockey. Like, I hate seeing that everybody's been saying on Twitter or X. I'm still gonna call it Twitter.
Yeah.
but say, as an American saying we own hockey, that's just not true.
Yeah.
I hate that, but I'm also gonna rebuttal your point, because whether you like it or not, everybody from all these nations have sore losers. Like, when you look at it, especially because I think hockey is the only major sport that we have in the Olympics besides soccer. And the two sports that are not in the Olympics that America technically owns, and you can say that for America, are baseball and football. And if you added baseball and football into the Olympics, baseball's coming in I believe, this Summer Olympics, I think baseball's getting added to it.
Oh, yeah?
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, baseball and softball, I think.
Interesting.
I'm pretty positive. But if we lost in baseball, you would have the same butthurt fans that you do on the Canadian side, on the American side. Like, I get it. It's competitive sports. It's the competitive culture that you're going to be sore losers, because everybody wants to win at the end of the day. And whether or not you support your team, you're always going to have these sore losers. So, do I like that Canada couldn't take it on the chest? No, but at the same time, it's like, you've been so dominant in the sport. You got cocky and you lost. You got cocky and you lost. And you're going to let your aggression get the best of you at that point. And you're just going to say words.
It's such a cop-out,
no
though.
Meaning behind it.
I hate it, because, like, you know what? So someone who's respecting the hockey world, because, you know, they're good friends with Steve Dangle, which I love Steve Dangle, don't get me wrong. But JD goes, honestly, if you're an American celebrating that win, you're a casual who doesn't know puck. Totally fine. That pissed me off. And I don't know if it was rage bait. That pissed me off, though. I said, because normally I'm not even going to call that out. I'll leave it usually, but it's like you're such a sore loser. Grow a pair. Like, we won the game. Just Because we don't know puck because we're celebrating. Our team just won gold. You're like, oh, Canada was better, so it just is what it is. No. If your team was better in the Stanley Cup Game 7 and you lost, what am I supposed to not celebrate that we won? It doesn't matter that you were better, you lost. Take it on the chin.
No.
It's like grow a pair. The game grows here, absolutely, but grow a pair. For God's sakes, grow a pair.
I say this all the time. American fans would be doing the same thing Canadian fans are doing. So I don't.
And I'd be calling them out too. I'd be calling it out too.
And I don't know if it's the raid-based culture that has been growing from the internet or what it is, but it's just that's what I've seen the trend being. It's just no matter how dominant in the sport you are, you're always going to have these people that are just going to rage bait into saying, oh, you didn't deserve it, your team, and just make all these excuses. And it's like, both teams have to play in the same circumstances. One team is not getting favored than the other. So, yeah, okay. America went to 3v3 versus Sweden. You didn't see them complain. Canada went to 3v3 against Czech. And didn't they go against Finland too?
I don't remember, but I know they had trouble with both.
Yeah. I know they went to 3v3 with Czech, and you won. So what's the fucking big deal?
They lost. Because they lost. That's
this is
matters.
This is the Olympic rule. We can't say, oh, maybe, yes, obviously, I think in 2010, we saw that it was a 5v5 overtime, right? Or there's still 3v3?
I don't remember, honestly, from 2000. I could not tell you from 2010 because they weren't allowing major athletes at that point, I don't believe. 2010,
yeah, was the last time the made the...
I don't even remember the game. Was that when Sidney Crosby? No, yeah, Crosby. Yeah, okay, right. Never mind. My bad. Sid the Kid.
And TJ Sochi. And that was TJ Sochi. Sochi. That's what they called him that year because
okay, all right.
The shootout.
Gotcha.
You don't remember?
No, I don't. I honestly don't. I block it all out, bro. There's so many. The Olympics, I typically end up forgetting. I'm gonna forget this one too in like a couple of months. It was great. It was great hockey, but it's like
every 4 years.
Yeah,
it's every 4 years, so you don't get to see this excitement.
Well, I hope that they add that Four Nations thing like every 2. So we have it like 2 years and then 2 years. We have Four Nations hockey in 2 years, and then back to the Olympics in 2 years. That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Well, I told you my idea that I had for the Four Nations. Instead of an All-Star break, just make that your All-Star game.
I don't want it every year. I want to have the important. I want it to be like the McRib. I want it to be like important for a moment. I just want it to feel good. But like every year, I don't want them to like kill each other every year. I want the All-Star break to be better. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want it every year. I feel like it's going to be like, all right, how many times we're going to see like if it wins every year, it's going to be nothing. But if USA wins like today, but I read somewhere like 9 out of 10 times Canada wins that game. 100% true. That 100% true. Like they should have won that game. 100%.
Do we even know that that's true too? Because like even then, like you look at the caliber of talent on both teams. Yeah, okay, America didn't put their best team forward, and nor did Canada. Because how do you have Bedard sitting at home and not being on your team to give you more depth?
There's plenty of people.
I don't understand.
There's plenty of people that could have been added to both teams, but 9 out of 10 times in that game, in that specific game, yeah, Canada wins. McKinnon's not missing that shot 9 out of 10 times. He misses that once. They're not going across the crease like that 9 out of 10 times. Celebrini's not missing those 2 open nets 9 out of 10 times. It's just going to be that way. But yeah.
What I think would settle this debate is if they did like some kind of best of 7 thing.
That would be insane, but we're not having that. That'll go through the roof.
Can you imagine though?
That'll go through the roof.
Can you imagine the hype behind it?
I would love that.
The excitement.
I would love that. That would be so sick.
Cool.
That would be sick. They should have something like that, but it's too many games. People are gonna get hurt. It's just too many games. They would need to shrink the season down to like 60 games, something like that, and then add like what the NBA did, like a mid-season tournament or something like that, or some kind of like Four Nations tournament where they did a best of 7 kind of thing, and shorten the game down. They would do that for it to happen. It would just need to be something different.
The announcers say that too, that in a best of 7 this might go 7, and maybe it does go 7 games. We don't know. We're saying that 9 out of 10 times they would win. Do we really know in a circumstance where 9 out of 10 times they would win? I mean, yeah.
No, I'm saying 9
the upper hand.
I'm saying 9 out of 10 in that specific game that happened. If you gave that same script over again, and just like the shot circumstances were different. Yeah, McKinnon's not missing that shot 9 more of those times. He's not. Especially after that. By the way, he was a big damn baby in the goddamn interview that he had. Oh, will you judge which one's the best team? You're wearing silver. Get over it. I love McKinnon, but that's just crazy.
Here's my thing, too. Like, I've always said this, that if you win gold, and if I was an athlete, I would want to win bronze. The silver medal was nothing at that point because you're the first loser. Yeah. So I get why they're so mad. Like, don't get me wrong. It's you being the loser and not the winner. Like, that's the whole idea over the silver medal. Like, in that case, I would rather take a bronze because I actually fought for a win in that point.
And real quick, let's give Vic some time to talk. They just broke things right now because he's just sitting.
All right, so I have nothing to say. You guys covered everything in this 20-minute solo right here.
Well, let me ask you this then, Vic. Does Team Canada win if they have Sid the Kid on that team? If the captain is there, do you think they come along with that win?
I'd love to say yes for my fellow Canadians, but I don't think so. Sounds like they shot themselves.
They did.
Too many opportunities that they should have gotten. So they lost themselves. And as far as sore losers go, they're all around the world, and everyone's a fucking sore loser.
I get it, but just like, man.
They won, that's it. A win's a win at the end of the day. Like, anyone's going to celebrate winning gold. And we ain't winning, like, what you guys say, in like 40 years or something?
Yeah, it's been since 1980.
You guys win this every few years. Like, it feels a lot better for us than it does for you guys. So, excuse us if we want to rub it in a little bit.
When you
like it or not.
When the Four Nations happened, when Canada won, I cheered like, oh my God, because it was crazy to watch. It was fun. It was a hockey fan first. More than anything, I love hockey. I love America. I love my country. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, there's things as an American I want changed, and there's things that, whatever the case is, but it doesn't mean that I'm not proud to be born here. I'm like, but I when Canada won, I was still like ecstatic. I was like, oh my God, what a crazy game! Because the hockey fan in me was just like, that was awesome hockey. And I feel like if you're a hockey fan, more than anything, I get you're proud of your country, but it's like, man, as a hockey fan, you just got to be happy that it was just such a good game to watch. That's my mindset. I'm like, as a hockey fan, you just got to be happy that it was just such a fun game to watch. Back and forth, you're on your seat most of the time. It was great hockey. It was like a movie script. It just looked so perfect. It was like, man, I can't believe he just missed that. What a paddle save. The goal from Boldy and whatnot, the tying goal in the set. Like, everything it felt so good leading up to it. And then the OT goal, another exciting point, obviously, but yeah, as a hockey fan, I was excited. If America would have lost the game, I would have still been like, man, Canada won, GG. I was like, oh man, what a great hockey game. One of the best hockey games I've seen this year. It's great. Because as a Ranger fan, I now have to go watch my team suck for another 20-something minutes for the rest of the time. And that's it. So now I'm not happy now because the break is over. We return tomorrow versus Philadelphia. I'm like, what do I have to go watch?
And at this rate,
I'm going to go watch them lose 3-0.
At this rate, we don't even know if the players are going to make it to the game.
Don't know if they're going to make it to the game. Don't know if they're going to make it to the game. We don't know if Check's getting traded on the plane ride home. Like, there's just going on. There's just so much going on. Like, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch them versus. Because you would tell them, like, yeah, let's go Rangers. I'm like, they're going to lose, and I have to cheer for them to lose, and I want them to get the better draft pick. But then I don't want to watch them lose 28 more times. I'm like, all right, this sucks. I hate watching them lose, and I'm like, please don't score right now. You're going to mess up my parlay. You're going to mess up your draft stock. I don't want that right now. So it gets me frustrated because that's the only good game I'm going to be able to watch until next year. That's what sucks about this. Oh. All right. Moving. Oh, but real quick, I do want to mention them.
Talk about the women.
Yeah,
here.
I want to talk about quick. Just we'll touch on it real quick because we have other topics I want to go through. And again, I don't want to be sitting here collecting cobwebs. But the women's national hockey, the women's USA team as well, domination throughout the entire playoffs, and has a battle with Canada.
31-2 in goal.
Amazing,
goal differential.
Amazing, and then Matt Keller doing what Matt Keller does with that beautiful potential goal of the year around the world. Just with the nice pull back through the that bing shoot. Oh my Lord, through a 5-hole. What a sick goal she had. If you are not watching women's hockey, you need to get on board. It's so good. And it's like, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It's really damn good. It's really fun to watch. And it's like, just seeing that, Megan Keller just showing her skills off, bro, props to the women's hockey team, to the American hockey team especially, because they did great. And so USA takes home both gold medals in hockey, which is crazy.
Yeah, completed this week.
Yep.
Which I'm ecstatic for, but to be honest, and people might send hate my way for this, but I think that USA women's goal was better than the Jack Hughes goal.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean the Jack Hughes goal was a pass and then a shot. That was all her going, listen, I'm really good, and I want to show you that I'm really good. It was a perfect way to show off women's hockey
at its
finest.
Pass from Taylor Heisey that just completely goes red line to blue line.
Yeah, it was good hockey.
Keller just goes in there, toe drag around the defender, and just beats her.
It was great. It was great hockey, and I hope that that showcase, if you weren't already watching women's hockey, I hope it gets a little bit more popular and they can get more funding into it, and they can do more expansions and more women want to get up and play, because that would be great. If I had a daughter, I would definitely want her to go play in there, because I would be so sick. I would be at every damn game because it's just so good. But yeah, no, it's just such good hockey there. But congratulations to both USA teams. First off, that was crazy good.
To me, the star of the shows were the women's hockey team.
Yeah, because they dominated. They dominated.
They completely dominated. They outshined the American men, and I give them all the props in the world, because this team, I don't think anybody's expected this kind of caliber of talent to come out of this American team because of how young they are. But
not the women's hockey. Like, for me, was dominated. They were the most. They were going to be the better one.
I said I don't think they expect them to be this dominant because of how young the American women are. You don't have players like Amanda Kessel or the older team that we used to have.
Yeah.
But this team is in very good hands, and they're going to become stars very quickly. And if this doesn't solidify that, it's just going to be more to come.
Yeah, surely, for sure. And I can't wait till the next Olympics to see them show off their stuff. And who knows? Maybe we see some more stuff out of them.
I hope Hillary Knight is back for one more Olympics, man.
We'll see.
I really do, because
speaking of,
even that goal to tie it late in the third period.
Yeah.
Oh, that deflection was insane too.
Speaking of last, I was actually going to say that we could have potentially seen Sidney Crosby's official last Olympic Games. Like, it could have been done. It might be it. He might not be here for the next one. So it's another sad thing. We're coming to an end of a generation for both men and women's, but it's like, men's, obviously we grew up more with Sidney Crosby, because there's more, we always know more about men's hockey than women's, but it's like, Sidney Crosby might be at the end of his rope as far as Olympics goes. It might have been the last one we've seen him in, and it sucks that, that we don't get to see that. And then, but it is what it is. But he's one of the best players of all time. Can't even deny that. Sidney Crosby is a genius.
When the Olympics happen every 4 years, the amount of wear and tear on your body that you already take through the 82-game season, it's hard for you to go back and be, how old is Crosby going to be in another 4 years?
What is he now? Like 37? So he's going to be like 41? Was he 37 or 38?
Yeah, he's going to be up there and be he's going to be up there, and maybe we will see him, but it's going to be very hard for him to play the pool and potentially the group state. Well,
we might see another. There might be another Penguin coming up on this Olympic sheet, soon. Yeah, if he stays on the course, but we might see Ben Kindle up there at some point. The rookie's playing phenomenal, and I can't wait to see what they're going to come up with. I can't wait to see what the roster sheet's going to look like in 4 years. It's just so many different people. All right.
I'm pretty sure you already have your projected American roster for the.
Sure. Yeah. Like I could already think of at least 12 players for offense.
I think they did the projected locks for Canada and the Americans. I only saw the Americans, but I'm pretty sure both teams are going to look. Canada's looking with the stars Canada potentially have coming up, including Gavin McKenna.
Yeah.
Oh, that team is going to be, we think is look bad now. That team's just going to get faster.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully he's a potential Ranger. That's all I care about. But anyway, though, let's switch off real quick because I did want to talk about something. We're going to move into football for a little bit because, we talk about the Olympics right now. There's no other hockey to talk about. Maybe the trade deadline, which we have in 11 days. We'll go over that maybe next podcast. We'll talk about some trade picks we'd like our teams to go for, if anything, or something like that. But for now, I want to switch over to football. We have important news about the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks are not scheduling, but they're looking for buyers to now buy their team. They're trying to sell their franchise, which makes me believe, do you think that someone takes that team and moves them out of Seattle or not? Do you think they end up staying put in Seattle? Like, do you think the climate over there is good enough for football? Like, do you like Seattle being where it's at? Like, do you think it's got a high, like, if not, then where do you see them going?
Nick, I'll let you take this first because I've been doing a lot of talking so far.
I don't know. When did this happen? When was this brought up?
It was right after the Super Bowl. It was like a couple of days later. It was like 2 days or whatever, 2-3 days after the Super Bowl. Adam Schefter ended up reporting about it.
I mean, I'm not a Seattle fan, but I mean, one Seattle fan base would probably be devastated if Seattle football came out of Seattle. I'm pretty sure. I mean, they've been everyone's home stadium is a follicle point to their team, but they're always labeled as that 12th man heavily in the NFL. You know what I mean? Their fan base, that stadium,
they've
been there since I've been watching football. Seattle's been in Seattle. You know what I mean? So I'd hate to see them relocate, honestly. I mean, I think football's good there for them. They got a great fan base, their stadium. I mean, like, they have all the things that you'd want a football fan base in town to have, I mean, I wouldn't even know where they would relocate, depending, I guess, on who bought the team or if they would just buy them and keep them there. But, I mean, there's football history there, you know what I mean? Like, at least for me, too, like, I grew up in Seattle. Seahawks were always... They never had their name changed. Their logo's pretty much been the same. Maybe the stadium was revamped or remade. I'm not 100% sure, but like, it's like Seattle football. It's to take it out of there would suck. It's like saying, all right, well, let's say we only had one team in New York, and we're like, all right, well, the different owner, we're gonna move and take the team apart. Like, I'd feel devastated. I'd be like, well, that sucks. I mean, yeah, I'm in New York, so I could be like, oh, well, I could always be a Buffalo fan, which would never happen. But, like, I would hate to see a team disbanded, especially after just, like, coming off of such a high,
Yeah, getting a Super Bowl win.
That would devastate, devastate the whole fan base, and it might make them sour. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, I'm sure there's some pros to it that I'm not thinking about, but I'm looking at it as a fan, man, and there's a lot of cons there. And I don't know. I guess we have to wait and see what happens. But, yeah.
Agreed. I think that Seattle needs to stay put. I hope the new owner, if they find a new owner soon, I don't know when they might get one, but if they find a new owner in the off season, then I'm hoping that they stay put in Seattle. Like, Seattle fans definitely deserve to have a team. Like, they show out and show love every single time that they are there. They make themselves known. They're very loud, very present, very they're very active in the game. Like, they're there. That's why I wish, like, you had in Ranger games. I feel like sometimes even with hockey, it's like, the Rangers just don't show up to Madison Square Garden. It's kind of like suits. But you could tell the Seattle fans are in Seattle. They're cheering for their team. Like, they'll make it known and make sure that you are rattled if possible. You could ask any team, especially like the 49ers, who constantly go back and forth. That raging war has been going on for like the last decade now. Like, it's been crazy good to watch. Especially when both teams are doing good, like this year, phenomenal. So it's just like I think they need to stay put. I would like to see them stay in Seattle if possible. I think it's the best outcome for. I don't want to see them move. I don't want to see them what happened with Oakland. That's just I don't like that. I didn't like that at all. Kind of feels like you move like a main fan base. You move them out. It's just like I don't like that at all. There's certain just things I don't like the relocations of.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to agree with both of you here. I think for Seattle, like Vic said, those fans are known to be the 12th man. You wouldn't have that earthquake game that I believe when Marshawn Lynch was there, and I think it was during the first Super Bowl run where they had that earthquake game. Or
Beachquake?
Yeah.
Okay, earthquake. I'm like, what the hell did he play through an earthquake?
No,
I'm
but
like,
they said that the fans, it was so loud that they actually caused a minor earthquake.
Oh, yeah, they had
seeing reports
yeah, they had the decibel point, like the loudness or whatnot to make one, yeah.
And it's just these fans, time and time again, has just shown that they're the best fans in the NFL. One, and they're the loudest fans in the NFL. It's hard to argue that. Like, you wouldn't call your fan base the 12th man if you didn't actually mean that. And having stuff like that as a fan, it makes everything mean a little bit more for a football team. Like, I know it's something small, but the fans feel noticed at that point. And you just relocating the team. It's just a slap in the face to those fans, and like Vic said, it could end up with a sour taste in their mouth, and you probably won't have many fans wherever you relocate to. I don't even know where you would relocate the Seattle Seahawks. I feel like that's just the best market for them to be in at this point.
Okay.
But yeah, I think they should stay put in Seattle.
I agree. I think we're all obviously in agreement. But I think it's fair. Hopefully, good luck to the owners for selling it. I mean, they're looking to set a record on a team franchise to be sold for. Cause it takes a lot for someone to buy one, but they're trying to set a new record for like a highest amount paid for it or whatever that they're looking to. I don't think they're like actively going, oh, I want to set a record, but I know they are looking to get a lot of money for their team, especially off the high that they just had. They're in good hands, and it is what it is. But I guess, what, it leads me into my next question here, right? Seattle stays put, that's fine, but what we've heard over the last few years, and especially with the international games, could the NFL be heading towards an expansion? Typically, I would assume that would mean at least 2 more teams, and I believe Roger Goodell, I don't know if he shut it down or not, but I believe there's at least 2 more teams would be thinking of. If you had to pick 2 cities, states, or whatever to get a football team, it could be even ones that already have one. It could be another Texas team, another New York team. It could be another whatever team, whatever the case is. But if you had to pick two places to get, it could be international. It could be Canada. It could be Mexico. It could be Europe. It could be wherever. But like, where do you see the next 2 teams? How to pick 2 teams, 2 places to put one.
Oh man, this is very hard because when you look at all our international games that we've had so far, I think we've been to Germany. We've been to France once, right?
Yep.
I think they had an international game there. They had it in Brazil. They had it in Mexico. I feel like the leading favorite right now, because I see it so much, would probably be Germany as one of the relocation spots. Just because we see a ton of, when we go international, I think they've been there, 3 or 4 times already?
I don't remember. Yeah, possibly.
So I feel like they're the front runners for relocation. And I would have to say Mexico City as another one. Because they go back to Mexico City a lot too. And yeah, I think adding football to being an international sport would definitely grow the popularity. It's been growing the popularity of the sport, especially when you have halftime shows with Benito, Bad Bunny, who just did one. You're trying to grow the fan base more. That way these allocations or these expansions could happen. But at that point, it's going to be very hard for all these American teams to travel international too. So I feel like they would have to add another league and just
that's what I'm
incorporate it
saying.
to like another division, like an EU division or an international division, to where you had them face off in the playoffs mainly, and regular season you have 1 or 2 games against them, but that's about it. I think the expansion could happen, and I see it moving closer and closer to it because of how often we go to these international games. But yeah, I think of how popular the sport has grown over the years. It makes sense for a business standpoint.
All right, Vicky boy, what about you? Which two places would you put? Which place would you put one? If you had to put an expansion team somewhere.
None.
None. You don't want an
No, I don't think. I get why we're doing international games, for popularity, but I don't think it's ever going to be an international sport, like ever. And I wouldn't want to see it become an international sport. It's so much work to do that. If it didn't start off like that, it's a lot. It's like Dan was saying, like they got to incorporate all these divisions. There's going to be a whole bunch of new rule changes. Like there's a lot that's got to go into that. And sorry to say it around the whole world, but you got to come through here if you want to play our game. Like that's just it. We have the best talented football players in the world. If you are good enough to come and play football, you have to come through here to play it, and beat out the best. Like that's just my opinion. Like you could add. I don't see that happening. I really don't. Like I don't think there's better talent than you got right here in the NFL in this sport. I can't sit here and compare it to like soccer because each team has its own country and they have their own little club teams and shit. But like, there ain't no one around the world that's going to beat any of these NFL teams. And all these NFL teams are breeded and mixed with all these other people around the world. So I don't get what they're trying to create. If you're trying to create like teams, like country teams, in the sense of a soccer, and then break it down into a division, like what Dan was saying, like those would be the weakest teams to me. In the NFL, it would have. Maybe for those countries that want the sport in their hometown, but like they have their own football stuff there. It's just not the NFL. Like it's not even close. Like they have, like I know my buddy's friend, he plays in Germany, gets paid to play football. It ain't NFL, and it's not because you ain't got the talent to play in the NFL. Like that's just the reality of it. Like if his buddy was that good, he'd be in the NFL. He loves football so much. He gets paid something over there to go play in Germany on a team, and they have their own kind of football set up down there. I get that they want to see the NFL, but like, I don't see it happening.
Okay, that's fair. I do agree with you to a certain degree on that. When it comes to like NFL, I don't want to see them actually move to Europe or whatnot. Who has, I think it's set up correctly is basketball. I think basketball has a really good system in how they work with it because there's so many European players that come out and then they end up being real big stars in the NBA. Like, I think the last 10 MVPs, I think 6 of them have all been European in the NBA. And it's like, for me, it just shows how great the sport has become from the 92 Olympic game with the Dream Team coming out there and really like spreading like wildfire and how good the game can be. So I don't want to see them go out to Europe when it comes to making an actual NFL team. And if so, maybe not yet. I could see a system go maybe like, okay, the beginning of the season, like what they do with hockey, where like a team goes out there for like 3 weeks, they play the different teams out there, then they fly back home. Then those teams have to fly into America and then play a couple of teams and then they fly back home. Whatever. But that would be that. But I just don't think it's realistic right now, just at the moment. But if I had to pick 2 teams, I'm going to go back to one place because we already mentioned the podcast, but I'm going to pick maybe something along the lines of Quebec or Montreal, Canada. I would like to see a Canadian team come in, kind of like the Blue Jays in baseball or whatever, or the Raptors in the NBA. I would like to see there be a little intermingled mix. I know they have the CFL and whatnot, but I think, kind of adding a Canadian team there, they're right across the border. We can get to them. We already know we work with them quite often. I don't think a team they would hurt. Plus, Vic, I think those would be your favorite games because snowy weather games probably would be more than not over there. Like, you'd have a lot more over there than anything. That could be something good. Possibly. You don't know that, though, because Canadians actually love the snow, so we don't know. So it domed. It might not though. But then I would like to see something like the Montreal, Canada, somewhere over there, Ottawa, wherever you want to put it. But I feel like somewhere on the East Coast side, like would be like better. Like maybe across from where Buffalo is. Just something like to just bring it together. I feel like a Canadian team over there would work well. And then the other place actually is something that I feel would tie in a lot of college players, a lot of college fans to really want to go. But you need a good market. You can't just stick it in the middle of like tumbleweed Alabama or something like that. They're going to have to make a place for it. Now you have Tennessee. I would like to see a Georgia team come out. I would love to see a Georgia expansion team because obviously Georgia has a big fan.
Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta! I didn't even think about Atlanta. All right, excuse that then. I didn't even think about them. I didn't even think about them. No one cares about the Falcons. I didn't even think about them. Okay, first mix-up of the day. Hold on, let me just make sure they don't have a team, right? All right, then the next team I would pick would be Oklahoma. I was like one of the two. I was like going back with my mind, but I for myself said Atlanta because I was like thinking Georgia would be nice, but then I didn't even think about the Falcons. But yeah, I think Oklahoma would be nice over there. I think Oklahoma would be a nice.
Oklahoma is not. You said international teams.
No, I didn't say. I didn't. Oh no! I explained this to you literally before the podcast. It did not need to be international. If you read the notes as well, it says also in the U.S. Did not have to be international. I never said nothing about it having to be international. Okay. Well, read next time. I changed it up. Guys.
I changed it up. I don't care.
I changed it up too. You went with one American team. You said New Mexico. That's in America. That's what do you?
I said Mexico City, dumbass.
You said New Mexico. Did you not say New Mexico?
I said Mexico City.
Oh no.
I could have sworn you said New Mexico. Maybe I'm wrong. I could have sworn you said New Mexico.
Mexico City.
You said, you heard Mexico?
Mexico City.
Oh, okay, my bad. I think you said New Mexico. I don't know why I'm think you said New Mexico. I was like, okay, I think that would be a fun team. I don't mind that. I don't know. I didn't. But yeah, I would say Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma would be another good spot to have one. I think it's like that nice area because I feel like a lot of football fans are down there. You already have one in Kansas City. That would be funny because you have two Kansas City teams. You could have a Kansas City Chiefs and then a Kansas City Oklahoma. Is it Oklahoma that has Kansas City as well? There's two Kansas Cities. I think it's Kansas City, Kansas, and then Kansas City, Oklahoma. And I think I don't know. It's the weirdest thing, but I would love to see two stadiums like back to back, just across state lines. Would be funny as shit to me. That would just be hilarious for me to see. But yeah, so I think those are the two teams I would like to see. I feel like the South is very, very heavily football pride, and I feel like having a team down there would be great. More teams down there would be great just because, well, a lot of them love football, and why not? I don't know if like a place like Alabama could really support one with the. I just feel like it's just there's not enough big city. Maybe you have it like Birmingham or something like that. I just don't know. Like I don't know how many like big football places you could have in Alabama that wouldn't be. Maybe I'm wrong. If you're from Alabama, tell me if I'm wrong there. But I just don't know how many big places you have over there that would be able to support like a football stadium that would bring in, I guess, college, right? They already have college stadiums. It works, right?
When you look at it, the Alabama stadium is already like a NFL type stadium.
Do you know how much it holds? Do we have like an estimate of how much the Alabama like college, like how much they hold? Because if they could support one there, I don't think it would be a bad team. Alabama is one of those teams, one of those states that people enjoy hockey from. So I don't know. So I don't know, but I just figured it'd be a good spot. It's just one of those areas like ring true to me when it comes to football. I feel like a lot of college fans would agree. And we already have Tennessee out there, and even though their team's like bad, they still show up and they're still very proud of their team.
150. No.
That'd be right. You can't say 150 something thousand people. No NFL stadium. I was like, damn, they definitely put one out there in freaking Alabama then. That would be crazy.
Okay, the seating capacity is 100,077.
Really?
And they have a record of 101,821.
That can't be. If that's true, then screw everything. Put one in Alabama then. If that's true, screw everything. Put one in Alabama. Forget everything else I just said. Screw Oklahoma. Put one over there because that would just be nuts. 100,000 people in a stadium. I don't think MetLife's even that big. I think MetLife's like what, 80,000 people, Vic? It's like that's crazy to me. A college game's 100.
What's that place that's like rich in the world right now?
International, Dubai.
Yeah, that'd be a good. They got the money.
No, it would not be a good. Dubai would not be.
They can play in that little strip that they got going on over there.
Yeah, and then the Saudi government is gonna. Yeah, and then the Saudi government is gonna buy the NFL. Yeah, okay, Vic. Yeah,
let's not
great
do that.
Idea over there.
Let's not do that, please. Let's not do that. Oh my lord. I'm moving, so I don't even want any more ideas from Vic on this. I'm just switching subjects right away. Let's get off of this. I don't need this right now. Next thing I wanted to talk about is a lot about free agents last week. We talked a ton about free agents last week. There's obviously still more we could have gone on. We could have probably gone on for like another hour and a half, maybe even more, about the amount of free agencies that we had over there. But we didn't talk about one guy that I wanted to kind of ask about. He is confirmed to be a free agent. He's going to be leaving, his team.
I think the uncertainty of him actually playing next year.
He said he's playing. He's going to be messing up the free agency.
But I mean, that's why we didn't talk about him, because we weren't sure if he was coming back.
No, you're confusing the two players. You're confusing them. Are you sure? Because I didn't hear anything about him retiring. But anyway, the person we're talking about here is Mike Evans. Guys, where does Mike Evans end up in the NFL for the 2026 to 2027 season? What makes sense for him? Where do you have him going, and what would you like to see out of him? Do you think he could still produce at a good enough level to even be like a number 2 on a team? Or do you think he could still be a number 1 on a team? Like, does he still have him? Like, what do you see out of this for him?
I'm going to piggyback off of what Vic said last week. When he said A.J. Brown going to Buffalo, if the Bills can land A.J. Brown and Mike Evans, Josh Allen has his 2 guys.
If they lost that Super Bowl, period, it'll be done.
And that's going to be pretty scary to see them both on the same team and how dominant that duo could be. I mean, yeah, I get it that they're out of their prime window, but they're still some of the top receivers in the league. Like, you can't deny that Mike Evans hasn't been a consistent player that's been putting up some insane stats. I mean, he almost broke what his record for amount of time games played consecutively. Yeah. Jerry Rice's record for how many consecutive games he played. And yeah, it sucks that he went down and injury took him out of it, but he's been one of the most consistent wide receivers, putting up numbers year after year. So if the Bills can land A.J. Brown and Mike Evans, that would be pretty scary to me.
Okay. Vic, where would you have him go? Where would you like to see Mike Evans go?
Yeah, I had 4 teams that could definitely use him. Number 1 was obviously the Bills, like Dan just said. Yeah, even if they didn't get A.J. Brown, like, his stats and his career, it's probably one of the most consistent receivers that's been playing since he's got in with this 1,000-yard seasons. If he can stay healthy, this is going to be the biggest if out of every team that he goes to. But the Bills would make the most sense. You know what I mean? He can still produce in the league, I think, still as a number 1 if he can stay healthy. If they did manage to get A.J. Brown, that would just make it that much more lethal, because you got 2 different kind of receivers there. You know, he's more of like a tool. You could throw him the ball down the field, red zone kind of threat. He could still move. He's a great route runner. And then you got A.J. Brown, who's just dynamic and fast. You know, it just gives you 2 different sides of a player. I also said the Patriots could use another receiver, and I could see him going there. I don't know if Diggs is staying on with them or whatnot, but that could definitely be something really helpful for May. A big target wide receiver like that. They don't have a big wide receiver room as it is, New England.
No, not at all.
Another other team that I've seen him, just because I don't know about the whole Rashee Rice situation going on in KC, a bunch of negative talks around that.
You're really loading up this KC team, aren't you?
Kansas City makes a lot of sense, because Patrick Mahomes would utilize him just as good as Josh Allen would, if not probably better. And then the last team I had up there that made sense was San Francisco. You know, taking some pressure off of Kittle.
Needs it.
And giving them a solid number 1, because, I mean, they got some receivers there, but, like, they got Purcell and who's that other guy? Is it Jennings?
Oh, Juwan Jennings? Yeah. Because Ayuk is leaving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ayuk's leaving. And they could definitely... the most sense it makes for any team, for me, out of those 4, Bills is number 1, and Kansas City would be number 2. But then you got Patriots and San Fran. Like, I think all of those teams need a receiver. I think he'd be best utilized on Buffalo. But all those teams could definitely utilize him in their own way. I don't know. It'd be a little weird to see him on Kansas City, though, because you used to see they're like a speedster team. They do a lot of weird offensive formations. But I know Patty can throw the ball down the field, and this guy can go and make plays.
Yeah.
You know?
Patty has a rocket of an arm.
And they won't have to, like, rely on him like a number one. You know what I mean? Like, they do so much in that playbook to where I feel like he'd sustain the least amount of injury if he went to Kansas City, especially if they acquired a running back in the free agency or something. Like, they could do a lot. Like, if they could do a lot. Like, if they could pick up Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, get a running back, like, there's a whole lot that they could do, but, like, that team would be insane.
It would
You know
be.
what I mean? Like, and it doesn't sound like they need much. Like, it's just we need a running back, maybe another speedster. Like, if nobody wants Hill and you can get him for a good price and he wants to retire a Chief, that could make sense. He could be like, yo, listen, you're going to be our number 1 or 2 here with Rice here because we're trying to figure out stuff because, like, this guy's always got some kind of issues going on outside the league. You know, he could pick up a lot of slack, like if Rice gets suspended or something again or if there's an injury, he could be that, like, not a depth piece, but, like, he can fill that role, you know, for sure. Like, if someone goes down, to be that number 1 there. You know, and I think he'd get a lot of action in KC. But, yeah, I got him. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that can use it. Like,
absolutely. There's so many teams that need work right now.
I'm surprised you didn't even say the Ravens in that list, too.
Speaking of which, that is part of mine. The Ravens are going to be, like, my first thing here because I said, like, the Ravens for me make sense because, well, first off, they just lost Harbaugh as their coach. They're gonna change up. I'm assuming Hope Skeens possibly, but you're gonna need something there to throw to because Zay Flowers, first off, can't be your number 1. I feel like Mike Evans might be a number 1 over Zay Flowers, and I would like to see Mike Evans be over there. I feel like even if you don't want to have him as number 1, a good 1-2 combo is always still good to have. I think he would just fit over there. It would be another team for another place for him to go to where he's not going to work overly hard because, well, you have a running back there, and I don't know if I'm sure he's still staying, but and then you have Lamar Jackson over there, who's also a beast. He's going to be running a lot as well. So it takes the pressure off him having to run because we already seen this year that he's been injured quite a few times. It might take the pressure off him having to run, especially if they're able to throw a little bit. And with him being such a good, like, just route runner and a good to begin with, because he'll be able to get you those catches, whether they're 5 yards, 20 yards, 30, doesn't matter. He's out there to catch it. He will catch it. He's very good at doing what he does. So I like him over there. Another team that I like him with right now, and it's another younger team I feel like needs it right now, would be Tennessee. I think Tennessee is for me the team I would want him to go to. Because I would like to see Mike Evans be over there. I feel like Cam Ward, again, for the same reason. I feel like Mike Evans can be the guy that he could throw to for 5 yards to get him a little check or something, just a little cross route, anything, because he's going to fight for it and he's going to get it. Mike Evans is very hard to not get that ball to. The only reason why he didn't have 1,000 yards this season is because he got injured like a couple of times and he was out for most of the season. But otherwise, I'm sure he would have gotten 1,000 yards again this season. He would have broke the record.
I'd love to see what's his name go to Tennessee. Debo
Samuel, yeah, that's another good one. There's quite a few wide receivers that Tennessee should look to because I feel like if you can grab 2 of them, there's quite a few of them. Brandon Ayuk is up there. Debo Samuel is up there. Alec Pierce, A.J. Brown, Mike Evans.
Nice in the Ravens jersey too, Pierce.
Yeah, a lot of them would. A lot of these guys would, and it's like that's the problem. There's so many teams right now that need wide receivers. Need them. Where it's like there's a drought. It's so weird.
I don't feel like they're the drought. I feel like the talent is all on a few of the top teams.
That's what I should have said. That's what it is.
I feel like when it comes down to the top 5, you already know the teams that they're on. The other teams have their receivers, but it's not matching the talent of those top receivers.
Yeah. So
talent isn't spread out fair enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not, but that's also up for the teams to draft them and whatnot. And then some of these guys have the wide receivers, and they're just not. They can't utilize them correctly. I mean, look at Minnesota. You have one of the best wide receivers in the league, and meanwhile, if not the best, and you can't even use them because, well, you don't have a line, you don't have a QB really right now. It's like it's bad.
You used Jefferson last year with Sam Darnold and saw the kind of numbers he could put up.
Yeah,
if he had a competent quarterback behind there.
Yeah, and you just don't right now. We don't know how J.J. McCarthy's going to come out in his, I guess, not sophomore, I guess his junior year.
Same can go for. I mean, no, the Bengals have Burrow, but even then, you have no offensive line to protect Burrow. So
yeah, and it's just a lot, and it's like
what numbers can Chase put up?
Yeah, so
with a competent line.
There's just so much that goes on, but a lot of these teams need wide receivers because, again, like you said, a lot of congestion with the wide receiver slot. And then my last team, I know we went very heavy with them, but I mean, again, I would like to see Mike Evans in a Jet uniform. I feel like the Jets need wide receivers. It's been said time and time again. They could have the QB, they could have the line, they could have a great defense, which we've seen how many times now throughout the years, and they just don't have an offense. They have guys like Lazard, or they get Eric Decker at the tail end of his career and sign him to a 5-year deal or whatever the hell it was with when he's already 30 years old. It's like, let's just, come on. We need to see an offense on that team. I feel like Mike Evans, get him there for a 2-year deal or even just a 1-year deal, whatever the case is, but they need someone over there. And I feel like Mike Evans over there.
The Jets have had wide receivers. They just haven't had a productive quarterback to get them the ball. And I think it's more so a quarterback issue for the Jets, not a wide receiver issue for the Jets.
I think it's both. You had Aaron Rodgers out there. I don't want Lazard should not be your number 1 or your number 2. Sorry, even when they had Rodgers, you have Garrett Wilson. Once you block up Garrett Wilson, that's it. There's no Jet offense. Besides maybe Breece Hall. That's it. There's 2 guys. That's all you got to worry about. If you know they're not running, they're in passing for they're about to pass. They're in shotgun, pass this ball out. Triple team Garrett Wilson, leave the other 3 guys open. You don't even need to worry. You couldn't even tell me who the other wide receivers are if you're not a Jets fan. It's like they don't have anyone out there right now. They need better wide receivers. So I think Mike Evans would be a great person to have up there because, again, very good possession catcher, someone that could definitely get you the ball when needed. Need a first down in a pinch, he's a guy to go to. He can get that. He can turn 5 yards into 20 yards. Take some pressure off of Garrett Wilson because I think Garrett Wilson is realistically, as much as I don't think he's a top 10 receiver right now in the league, I think he is like a top 3 in talent wise, and it's weird. And I think he's just not a top 10 receiver because he doesn't have the quarterback or the team to throw around him. If you put him on a better team, I think he's not a top 10 receiver, but I think he's a top 3 talent. Personally, I think he's like top 3 in the league talent wise, but he's not a top 10 receiver, and it has nothing to do with him. It has to do with the team. It just has to do with the team around. You put him on the Chiefs, you put him on the Ravens, you put him on the Bills, put him on any team with a competent QB, he's probably number 1 receiver in the league. I'm not even joking right now. He's literally, I think the kid has so much skill behind him, and it's just sad to see him getting wasted on Justin Fields throwing 46 yards a game. So I would like to see them have someone out there to kind of take pressure off him so they can make a little offense. And they do need a QB, obviously, but they're the Jets. I don't see them getting a QB anytime soon. The Falcons just announced they are releasing Kirk Cousins. Maybe he can go over to the Jets. I don't know. I doubt Vic wants that, but he can possibly go over to the Jets. You have Kyler Murray.
I mean, it's an improvement, but it's like, no.
You have
fans going to be like, yeah, Kirk Cousins is the way, the truth, and the light. Get him in here, give him another $100 million so he can break his back after 3 snaps.
And then you have Kyler Murray.
Hey, you had the Aaron Rodgers coming out with the American flag and injuring his AC.
Vic, if you had to choose right now, I know it's not on the list, but you had to choose right now between the 3 quarterbacks. I know you want Mac Jones. If you had to choose between Mac Jones, Kyler Murray, and Kirk Cousins, which direction the Jets should go? Because there are a couple of QBs up here that are realistically on this free agency list, or someone that could be on the trade rumors list, obviously. Where would you see them going, realistically? Or do you think they should just wait until the draft? Like, which way do you feel the Jets should go in this offseason with it?
My opinion, I like Mac Jones the most out of all. Kyler Murray doesn't make any sense to me because you're pretty much just getting another Fields in you there. You're gonna maybe, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see an exponential growth in Kyler Murray's game. That he plays maybe less video games than he did in his first 4 years with Arizona. I don't think he's ready to come in and deal with the situation that's in New York, let alone deal with New York press, but to come in and try and be the next guy. Like, we just tried that with a very similar kind of play style guy, like in Fields. I don't want to call them like, they're like this, but like, like mobile quarterback, like not sure what they really got. Like, I don't want no part of that.
Average quarterback.
Yeah, I don't want that. I want a pocket passer. Now, that's great. That narrows me down to either Kirk Cousins, who's on the back end of his career or pretty much almost out the door with his career, or Mac Jones. Now, I seen Kirk Cousins come in a few times this season and not look like the Kirk Cousins he did on Minnesota because maybe he didn't have he was with Minnesota, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't have the weapons that he had there, right? And his throw ain't like it was with Minnesota. I don't know. He's taking a few injuries. I'm just doing process of elimination here. Now I go to look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones came in time and time again, toughed it out, won some crucial big games for San Francisco, which would propel them to get into a playoff run. Obviously, Purdy gets the flowers, because he's the starting quarterback, but he has what it takes to be a starting quarterback in the league. He came in with New England. He went through his downs. He's seen some success with San Francisco. I don't know if he went to any other teams in between that. I think he's deserving of a shot. I like how tough he is. He's got good zip on the ball. He can move. He's got some kind of smarts in him. You know what I mean? I feel like that would be our best way to go. Now, maybe you sign him as a bridge quarterback. You give him a deal like you did with Fields, a 2 or 3 year deal. If you're not getting Mendoza, right? If you can't get him and there ain't no one else you're looking at, you can go and get Mac Jones for a second. I think it would be a second round pick or whatever if he's a free agency or however it works.
It would be a trade. It would definitely be a trade.
It'd be a trade. I think they'd have to give a second round pick only because of his whatever he was able to do this season, and plus I know. What is his name? Shanahan on the Niners?
Yep.
Like, they got a good relationship there. Like, he wanted him there, and that's why he's there. So, you might not be able to get away with a third, but you'd have to give away a second. And I think it's totally worth it. And then you give him a deal, right? And even though you give him a deal, you see what he gives you next season, and then you go into that draft with knowing, all right, this is going to be our guy. We're going to get someone to back him up, or we're going to go and we're going to grab our first round draft quarterback, and then he'll sit behind Mac Jones for the next year or two and develop in a sense. I think Mac Jones is the best fit. Like, he's going to sit in the pocket. He's going to throw that ball to whoever you put around him. You got a pretty solid running back room. If you did lose Brees, you would just go and get, I would assume, like a day 2 or day 3 running back. You still got Allen and I forgot the other, Isaiah Davis. It's not a bleak running back room. So, Mac Jones, I like Mac Jones. I do. Like, I like what I saw out of him this season with San Fran. It's not like he had an amazing offense to fire with, you know what I mean? Like, Purcell and Jennings, like, and Bourne, like, it's Garrett Wilson, to me, is a step up from any of those guys I just named.
Yep.
Now give him another guy, right? Beef up the O-line a little bit more. I mean, the O-line wasn't horrendous, but, like, it could definitely be strengthened. They have the capital to do it. They have the draft picks to do it. I think all they really need is another wide receiver with Garrett. Tight end room's growing. We'll see what Mason Taylor does this year because he didn't really get much playing time last year until the end of the season. And I feel like he give you the best chance to get production out of that offense, out of the 3 guys you just named. And it makes the most sense on what Aaron Glenn looking for. He's looking for a Jared Goff. He wants to build that offense like they did in Detroit. It's totally doable. Will it work? I don't know, but it worked in Detroit, and they built it around Jared Goff. You know what I mean? Like, Jared Goff is not no high-tier caliber quarterback. He's just pretty above average quarterback who's damn consistent. And if you put the right stuff around him, he can look like one of those quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Whether he has to look like one or not, the team's going to win games. So, like, if that's what you're trying to do, I think Mac Jones is the best person for that. Kirk Cousins, you bring him in, maybe. I mean, any quarterback could come in and take a hit and get hurt, but, like, the guy's like 38 or whatever he is. 37, 38, 39, whatever, however old he is. Like, I don't think he can take a shot no more. I'm not comfortable you giving him a 1 or 2 year deal like you just did Fields and burn up $30 million guaranteed money for him to get sacked. To go and get sacked and blow out his arm. And then you're back to what? Petty and all these guys that they went through 3 quarterbacks this season. Like, I would have just let Fields finish out. Like, you gave him all this money. Like, we weren't doing any better with any other guys in there. Just let him play. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not getting any better. Like, his stock isn't going to go up. You know what I mean? Just, like, let him play. So, I think Jones makes the most sense for the Jets offense to, like, take a step up and not stay the same or worse. I don't think it could get much worse, but I could be wrong. It's been worse. It could always be worse.
0-16 next year. Who knows?
Yeah. If you go and get Kyler Murray, I think you can be 0-16.
Wow. Really? Okay.
I would rather take a Kirk Cousin over him.
Right.
I don't want to see what I just seen.
To be fair, I do think the situation Kyler Murray would go into with the Jets is a lot worse than what it is in Arizona.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Just the fact that it's New York, too.
I'm not knocking the caliber of player Kyler Murray is. I'm knocking the Jets organization for possibly failing. If he wants
the rest of his career to be ruined, he'll go to New York. If he wants to ruin the rest of his career, he knows where to go. If I'm him, use your brain that you got and stay far away from that organization, no matter how sweet the deal sounds. Like, do yourself a favor and go somewhere else where bro, does he want to be miserable his next 4 seasons? Like, because that's what you're looking at. And then hope that you have like a late surge, like Geno kind of did at the end, and then it's kind of like you fall off, and that's the quarterback you're known for. Like, you never really had great years, but you had a good 2 years in you, and it's like, I should have never went to the Jets. Like, you're not gonna go to the Jets and go 10-3, 13-3, or you're not gonna go there and win. I'm sorry, you are not gonna do that. You're not the guy. You're not the guy, and that's not the organization.
I don't think Patty Mahomes could help the Jets, to be completely honest with you.
Well, he couldn't help the Chiefs. We know that. But
I mean, no. He did his best he could to get the Chiefs out of that situation. I'm not even saying that whole season last year is Patty Mahomes to blame.
Oh, it's not. It's not. It's the entire team. It was just bad.
He did the best he could for that organization.
Which leads me to my final question for the podcast here, really, which is we talked about him possibly not returning, possibly retiring. Everyone already knows who the hell I'm talking about. But Travis Kelce, we don't know what's up with him yet. His future is still undecided. We don't know if he's retiring or not. I'm assuming he might. I feel like if he had that in him, he probably would have already signed at this point. As well as the fact that, I feel like on the podcast he has with his brother and whatnot, as well as the last couple of games showed, it kind of felt like he was playing his last few games at Arrowhead, and we don't know if that just means he's just done. Do you feel like he comes back? Do you feel like he retires? And if he does retire, is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? And I guess one question I was going to ask, because even if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, I've seen the word thrown around, is he the best tight end in the NFL, period, all time? Or if not, where do you rank him? Is he top 5? Like, where would you put him at if you had to put him as tight end?
I would put him top 4. I just think when you see the people in the Hall of Fame right now, Shannon Sharp, Tony Gonzalez, Andrew Johnson, you have some of these top guys that have been extremely dominant during when we grew up. I mean, yeah, we didn't watch Shannon Sharp, but we watched Tony Gonzalez and Andrew Johnson on the Texans, and they were the tight ends of our generation. No,
I'm trying to make sure you said Andrew Johnson. Do you mean Andre Johnson?
The tight ends for the Texans.
Okay, all right. I was getting confused.
Was it Andre?
Because Andre Johnson's a wide receiver. I was trying to make sure here. That's why I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Andrew Johnson. I actually don't know who that is.
Yeah, Andrew Johnson.
I don't even know.
I think he's confusing them. I think you're talking about Andre Johnson. That was a wide receiver. Let me just make sure. I'll double check for you. But you continue saying what you're saying.
No, it was the 2 tight ends that were popular.
You mean Antonio
Gates of the Chargers? Yeah. Him and Tony Gonzalez were the 2 that I remember watching as a kid.
Oh yeah, Andrew Johnson was a receiver.
Yeah, Andre Johnson was the guy who was getting into fights with Cortland Finnegan.
Yeah, through that big punch.
But yeah, Antonio Gates, you had Tony Gonzalez. You have a lot of guys that are I would think ahead of Travis Kelce. Like, yeah, Travis Kelce has solidified him to be one of the top tight ends, but I don't think he's the top tight end.
Okay.
In the Hall of Fame, if he goes into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I do think, and here's the thing, I do think both Jason and Travis Kelce are going to be first ballot Hall of Famers.
All right. Do you think he retires this year, though? Do you think he's coming back, or do you think he's done?
I think it all depends on what this Kansas City team does, to be completely honest with you. If they can get a guy like A.J. Brown, maybe Kenneth Walker, like we've been saying, and maybe Mike Evans, I think Travis Kelce is going to want to come back and try to win one final ring. And this will be his last year.
Okay.
Do you think it's undecided right now? I think it's undecided to see where the shape of this team goes.
Is he a free agent?
He's a free agent. He will be a free agent this season.
Restricted. Not, I think it's restricted.
They don't have restricted free agents in the NFL. He's a free agent or not. It's only a hockey thing.
Well, I mean,
that's only a hockey and baseball thing, really?
It's not a football thing.
He's been a great tight end, bro, like his whole career. Like top 5. I like what Dan said, top 4, top 5. He's definitely like consistent, bro. Like the best part I like about it is that he's a franchise player. Gives me that Ray Lewis vibe. Like he's been with Kansas City his entire career, which is awesome. Like I love guys that can do that. I know it's very hard to do in the league where it just works out your whole career and you stay like that takes a lot, but it says a lot about the loyalty of a guy too. Like I'm sure there was times where he could have went elsewhere for more money, you know what I mean? Or things could have worked out different, you know, but he's had a good, healthy career, a long career, you know? I love to see him. I don't know if he needs to play anymore. You know, it's like it really comes down to him. Do I think he can produce like he used to? No. Maybe if they put some stuff around him, I could see him coming up with maybe 600 to 800 yards in the season and maybe less than 10 touchdowns, 5 to 8 touchdowns. Like, I don't know if he's got a lot of good things outside of football right now that he doesn't have to play again if he doesn't want to. You know what I mean? Like his table is set. I think he's going in first. Like he's done. He's done. He put his time in, bro, and he's been phenomenal. He's been one of the best tight ends in the game, you know, with an exception of a few other greats. Like, but if he did come back, it'd be nice to see him up. I don't think he'd go anywhere else. He'd stay with Kansas City and retire at Kansas City. Like, the only reason I could see him wanting to stay playing, like, I just don't see it. But like, if there was another team that was win ready now and that needed a tight end, but like, I that wouldn't make any sense. Like if I was him, which I'm not, but if I was him, I would probably just retire. Well, maybe like Dan said, maybe if there's a chance that there's one more ring that can possibly happen and he wants to give it one more go, you know, but like he's not going to be like this game-changing tight end anymore. You know, he's just going to, his name is what's going to, you know, we got to prep for him anyway because we know he's got hands. He knows where to be. He knows the chemistry between him and Mahomes. Like, he's dangerous in that aspect. Like, you know, he could be with the ball. He could be where he knows Mahomes wants to put the ball and put himself in a position. You know, I'm not saying he's going to catch it. You know, we've seen a lot of drops in this season and his injuries, but I don't think he has to play anymore. It's really up to him. You know, like he's got a whole life outside of the NFL. He's got the podcast with his brother. Like he's got a lot of good things going on.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice.
Girlfriend in him, that's
Beyonce.
Yeah, you know, fiance. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna tie the knot, and you know, yeah. I mean, great to have him in the league. Like it was great to have him transition and become that guy from the Wittens and the Grahams and the Gates and the Gonzalez's
and the Andrew Johnsons as well. Don't forget about him.
You know, like there's just so many tight ends that and then it kind of fell off, and he took that. You know, he was like, yeah, I'm that guy, you know, and now it's kind of like Kittle rolling in and this young guy Warren, right? Like excited to see if he becomes like that kind of stature.
He's amazing this year.
As they roll in because, you know,
what's his name from the Bears?
Loveland. Loveland was amazing this year.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like these guys are going to start to pick up the mantle, but you still got like this Kittle that is like going to transition into that Kelsey and like there's a couple of other names I'm sure I'm forgetting, but like he could pass that torch off happily, you know, and retire. Like he picked that shit up and he ran with it. Like when Gronk's days are over, and then it was the Kelsey era kind of coming into form, and he's carried it with that KC.
Oh, no, he was even battling Gronk at the time too.
He was, but
Gronk were going head to head.
Yeah, but he kept it going as Gronk went. You were like, Kelsey's the talk of the league when it comes to tight end. He can pass that off now. Like, I don't think he needs to play. He's a Hall of Famer, 100%. And if he does play with KC for one more year. If you got one more good year in you, and you think you can grab a ring when they build this team up, then go for it. I don't think he's gonna be that guy though anymore. Like, there's no reason for him to go out and be like, "Yeah, this team needs me." Like, they don't need you.
And Pat, with the amount of mistakes you had these last 2 weeks, you can't get on me for me having one mistake so far.
I absolutely can. I can, and I will, because I want to change that focus. For me,
let's go back to last week and see how many mistakes you had.
I'm deleting that podcast off.
Repeating yourself.
That podcast is getting deleted. I'm not deleting that one right away. Actually, thanks for reminding me. I forgot about that.
Darrell Revis playing for the Colts.
Yeah.
Come on.
For me though, Travis Kelce is absolutely a first ballot Hall of Famer. If I was him this year, I would retire. I think that for both the Chiefs and his sake, I think retiring would be his best bet. It's very hard to replace Kelce, but I feel like you can, especially since he's at the tail end of his career. Basically, there's no denying about it. But I think if I'm Travis Kelce, I retire into this offseason. I go live my life. You have your fiance and Taylor Swift. Have a great time. Enjoy yourself on the podcast. You don't even need the NFL anymore at this point. You're good. You're set. Like Vic said, your table is set. Just go eat. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself a nice dinner. Because right now it's like you've had plenty of time to work and put in that effort. And I think he's definitely someone that just does not need to play anymore. He's already good. So I think retiring would, for me, if I'm Travis Kelce, if I'm in his shoes, I retire this year. Will he? Don't know. It could be very well, if the Chiefs get into a good situation, then who knows? Well, but I retire from him. I definitely retire from him. I think he's good enough to retire.
I'm looking up Travis Kelce right now, and I'm seeing this article. I don't know how true this article is, but it's a wedding update. I don't know why they have it, but it says that there's already been contract talks between him and the Chiefs. Possibly. So he might be planning to make a return too.
Yeah, I mean, but that could also just be the Chiefs talking to him about it and trying to coerce him to get back in. He just he's thinking about it, mulling it over. But I do think he should retire. I think it'd probably be best for him. I think it just works out that way. I mean, you could possibly go for one final round, but the Chiefs have to make some drastic changes for that to happen this year. It's like the NFL is definitely in a different landscape over the shape of 1 year. We already seen it with the fact that the Chiefs on their worst couldn't make the playoffs, so Chiefs have to now show better than that. Bounce back. You have to see what's going on with Rasheed Rice. You have to see what's going on with Pacheco. If you're getting a new running back, you have to see if you're getting any other receivers, whether it be in the draft or not. Is the defense going to play good or not? Because they definitely let down the ball a couple times this year. It's just a matter of what they do. So the Chiefs definitely have a time now to where they got to actually build up to show that they're the best in the AFC. So we'll see how that goes. But if I'm Travis Kelce right now, I'd take my money and run. Just get out, retire. Don't even worry about it. But if you have love for the game, you just want to play one more, with your team and then give a proper goodbye tour, then by all means do your thing. But that's just me. I retire. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he does it right away. But we'll see. Anything's possible. We've already seen Bill Belichick get denied. So who knows?
I mean, I was going to say that too. Who knows at this rate with Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Fame coach?
Yeah, who knows? He might be in 12 years from now.
Unanimous.
Yeah, I know. So it's kind of ridiculous. But yeah. All right, boys. Well, that's it for the podcast. I do have one lightning round question.
I had a fun lightning round question too.
We're on them both.
All right, Dan, let's hear yours first.
Lightning rounds.
Okay. So, I know we talked about allocating teams, right? Relocating teams and everything. Out of the New York Giants and New York Jets, because Vic brought this up earlier and it got this in my head. Who would be the first team to relocate, the Jets or the Giants?
I'd have to say the Jets. Giants have more success there. No offense, Vic, but they have more success over in there. And I feel like that if the Jets had to relocate, it would be them that would have to relocate over both of them.
It'd be the Queens Jets.
I just got that question because of how bad the two teams have been recently. So it's
recently, but I'd have to take it to the Jets though, just because the success rate. If you had to ask me which one I would have to relocate, if it got in my head which one would have to go, it would be the
Meadow Jets.
What about you, Dan? Two of them.
I was leaning Jets too.
Okay. For mine,
on board. Get out, Jets.
Well, I'm just saying Jets because the Giants' future. You have, the Giants' future could be all up from here. Who knows?
Okay. And then for mine, real quick, actually, before we go into the lightning round, I actually had one little small topic. It's a conspiracy theory. I don't know if you guys have seen, but they released the logo for the next Super Bowl coming out already, and people are already saying, I want to point this out. This is going to be a clip I'm posting up here. So future Patrick and for the future of the NFL for the 2026-2027 year for the NFL, the NFL colors right now are going to be yellow and red and like an off seafoam green. So people are already predicting the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Eagles once again are going to be in the Super Bowl for the coming year. So if this happens, we're just saying it here year out that the NFL is rigged. Okay, we're just going to put that out there. And I just wanted to mention that real quick before we go into anything. I just wanted to make that a clip so it's up there for YouTube to see. So we can call it out when we see it next season. So we'll mark this down 52 weeks from now, see if that happened.
Wait, who did you say?
It's going to be another rematch between the Kansas Chiefs and the Eagles because of the colors.
Eagles, I don't know. Vic, do you see the colors or no?
No, I haven't seen the colors.
I don't know. Maybe the Eagles, but I also see the Seahawks.
Seafoam blue.
It's like
red and yellow.
Yeah, essentially, it's kind of like a seafoam greenish kind of thing, or greenish blue or whatever. But it's got like that teal kind of color, and then it's yellow and red. I've seen Kansas City Chiefs and Eagles. I've seen the 49ers and Miami is another one I've seen out there. I'm like, I don't know how the hell you think Miami's getting to the Super Bowl, but I mean, we've seen the unexpected happen. But yeah, but there's talk. I've seen that one going around a lot too. But I mentioned the Kansas City Chiefs and the Eagles because I feel like it's more probable than the other one. But that's just what I got going out there. But I just wanted to mention it, kind of bring that out there. So I guess those two formations here going on with it. But yeah, all right.
Well, there better not be no freaking Miami, bro, because I will lose my mind.
If two AFC East teams get there before the Jets
will be in fourth place with 0 wins. I'm just gonna say it now. If we go 0-8, I'm cut off from football for the rest of the season. Just throwing it out there, Jet fans. Miami will be 8-0.
Every AFC East team is hot. The Jets got
the Vice City story between Miami. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my Lord! All right, we're gonna end it there. I'll call it there for the podcast. My lightning question here, real quick, is gonna be, if you had a start, cut, and bench 3 tight ends, since we just spoke about them, we're gonna go over Travis Kelce, Gronk, and Antonio Gates. You have to cut, bench, and start.
Oh, what was the players again?
Antonio Gates, Travis Kelce, Gronk.
You want me to go first?
Whoever wants to go first.
Yeah. Gronk starts.
Okay.
Antonio Gates on the bench. Kelce gets cut.
Dano.
Sorry, Kels.
I'm going Gates starting, Kelce on the bench, Gronk's getting cut.
Wow! Oh my God! Whoa. Okay. Whoa. Jesus.
That's wild.
That is wild. My God. All right. Yeah, I'm literally the same thing as Vic. I'm agreeing here with it. I'm starting Gronk. I'm benching Antonio Gates, and I'm cutting Kelce. Oh my God! You cut Gronk?
Yeah, because you have to think he only had Tom Brady, so. What could he do with other quarterbacks? We don't know.
He's amazing. He had nothing to do with just him. My Lord, yeah, Mahomes.
Kansas City. If that's the case, then Gates is the best. No, didn't he play on the Chargers his whole career too?
Yeah, he did. He played with Phillip Rivers. My God. All right. Wow. Bold, Dan. Bold. All right. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Then Breeze, I think.
Fair enough. Hey, by all means. By all means. Hey, you don't have to yourself. It's all good.
Questions, you have to be bold.
Yeah, you have to. It's fine. All right. Hey, listen, by all means. By all means, it's fine. All right, boys. Thank you very much for joining me on the podcast again this week. Episode 22 is a wrap. We will see you guys again on the next episode, episode 23. Probably be going over the NHL deadline. Boys, we'll kind of keep in topic, obviously, about the topics coming up for next week. Enjoy yourselves. Have a good night, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace out, guys.
Peace.